Welcome to another edition of Becoming God's Woman of Destiny. I'm Doreen Leckler, and in my last video learning lesson, I defined for you what it means to be God's Woman of Destiny, and I talked about living with purpose, on purpose. Well, now it's time to begin to lay the foundation for change. And in fact, there are 5 essential steps that are necessary for all change and growth and development to take place. Anytime you have accomplished successfully a goal or created some major change in your life, you in fact have undertaken and successfully accomplished each of these 5 steps. You may have not been aware of it, it may have been very subconscious, but what I'd like to do for you now is give you a conscious awareness of each of these 5 steps so that you can manage them and apply them to any area of your life anytime you are ready to create change and growth in your own life. Now, I'm just going to give you a very quick overview here in this video learning lesson, but in the subsequent follow-on article, I will flesh these out in much more detail for you. Okay, the first principle, the first step to growth is this. There is no growth without, 1, realization. Realization. Now, you might kind of think, well, that's obvious, but in fact, you know it's not. Most people, when they try to initiate change, they really kind of just go back at it with more force, more gusto, more conscious level willpower. Think about it. If you've ever tried to maybe, I don't know, lose weight or get fit or improve your health in some way, think about how you've done it. Most of us, we go back and do the same thing over again, but we do it, we try harder. We tell ourselves we're going to be more committed this time. You might be familiar with Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Realization is the recognition that it's time to do something new. More on that later. The second step, the second principle is this: there is no growth without reflection. We live in a microwave society. We want instant touch with instant results. And even though science tells us, and we know from the study of performance in human behavior, that at the end of the day, it's the way that we think that impacts the results that we have in life, even though we know that from scientific studies, still few of us take time to think about what we think about. We really run on automatic pilot. Reflection is necessary. And in the follow-on article, I'll give you even some statistics that show how important it is for self-reflection, for writing out what it is that we're reflecting about. The third principle, the third step for growth is there is no growth without revelation. Revelation. Look, self-reflection isn't designed to just kind of create self-consumed, navel-gazing individuals. We're reflecting for Holy Spirit revelation. We're trying to get at the root, not at the surface level, but at the root of what it is that's holding us back. Revelation is designed to uncover those ineffective thoughts that are not fulfilling and yet are driving our current behavior. Well, the next step, the next principle is that there is no growth without revival. Revival. Now that might seem like a strange term for me to use, and in the follow-on article you'll understand why I use it. But in fact, what we want to do, once we have reflected and we've examined and we've come up with that aha moment, that revelation of that's what's holding me back, then it's necessary to create a new standard, a new expectation, a higher expectation, a new normal. It's time to take our ineffective thinking and throw it out and align ourselves, revive our thinking to become more in line with God's way of thinking for us. And then the last step, there is no growth, there is no change without the step of renewal. Renewal. See, we can understand through a lot of coaching and therapy why we have ineffective thinking. We could have greater desires. We could revive our level of expectation. But unless we renew our thinking, you will not see change. We have to transform our thinking. And I will give you a step-by-step, a sequential process to do that. Now, The good news is this: the very fact that you're watching this video means that you're already in step one, that of realizing that there's something new that you can do. In the next video learning lesson, I'll go into that second step. I'll begin to lay out bite-sized pieces and tools and principles for reflection and reflection for revelation, and how to revive your thinking and how to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.